Hey folks, welcome to week 2 of RMI 670. Just wanted to go over the expectations for the week. So the big expectation, of course, is the first exam. For this exam, you can use textbooks if you need to. Your notes are going to be a better source of information because the bulk of the exam comes from the lecture stuff that was discussed. So we had 2 lectures last week. We've got 1 lecture posted for this week. You're going to have watched all of them to do well on the exam. Otherwise, you're not even going to understand the questions. So just be ready for that. Of course, you can use whatever sources you've got. It's the kind of thing, though, that for full credit, I'm looking for what you think. I'm not looking for, I need to go search the internet to find the right answer. That's not how these questions are phrased, and you'll see that. I've got more information about the exam in a separate video that I posted, so I'll leave that for now, but that's the big expectation for this week is the exam. Yep, we've got 1 more video lecture. We've got an article and an article quiz that goes along with that. And then the second case assignment is here too. So the first case assignment asks you to identify risks. The second case assignment asks you to do something about those risks or recommend doing something about those risks, because that's what risk management is. You're figuring out where loss exposures are, and then you're making recommendations for what should you do about it, keeping in mind that sometimes the best answer is nothing. That's retention, right? That's part of retention is usually we're combining that with loss control to some degree. So in this case, we're asking you to recommend avoidance, retention, loss control, or insurance transfer for these risks. And throughout the whole assignment, I'm asking that you use at least 1 example of each technique. So if you get through the whole assignment, you realize, oh, wow, I didn't recommend loss control for any of these. Okay, then I'd ask you to go back and find another risk that would be best ameliorated with loss control and include that. I just want to make sure we're taking a broad focus here with all our tools that we have to address risk. So that's the second case assignment. As you're going through the case, you're probably saying to yourself, some of these risks seem a little far-fetched. Most of them have a basis in reality. So again, I designed this case for undergrads. You kind of sometimes feel like you have to beat them over the head with, hey, there's a risk here. What are we going to do about it? So you can kind of tell from the case as you're reading it, gosh, this seems a little exaggerated. Some of them are exaggerated, but most of those risks do have a basis in reality. So I thought it would be an interesting discussion to ask you to highlight one that you'd like to know more about. Say, what in the world, how did this happen? And then I can respond to that and say, well, this is where the idea came from. Although some of the risks I did completely make up on my own, but not most of them. Most of them have a basis in reality. So I thought that would be an interesting discussion. So exam, article quiz, case assignment, discussion. That's what we've got for this week. The deadlines are all Sunday night. My advice, don't leave it all for that night. That's pretty intense. Remember, we're trying to cram 16 weeks into 10. That makes these first couple weeks pretty overwhelming. I understand that. If we can get through this week, it does get better. So hang in there, do the best you can. If you have any questions, please email me, not through Canvas. I don't see that until I log back into Canvas. I see it quicker when you email me at kmgatzlaff@bsu.edu. So that's just one way to get a quicker answer to some of your questions. If you do have any questions, reach out, always here. That's my job. That's what they pay me to do. So always happy to help you in any way I can. Those are the expectations for this week. Good luck. And again, if you need help, let me know. Thanks.